Hi, welcome back to GVTV. I got a tough one today. Oh man, I hope you can see. I'm going to zoom in a little. And action. First thing I'm going to do is switch amplifiers. I am messing about today with a PRS SE Swamp Ash Special, and it's one I'm really fighting with. I bought it for a pretty steep discount in mint condition, and mint condition includes a huge gash in the bottom. I don't know if you can see that. I always got something to show you, and then I always am having to say I'm not sure you can see that. But we'll try to get a close-up. And the picture in the ad on Reverb didn't show that at all. I got it from Pro Audio Star. It said mint condition, basically brand new or something like that. And the picture, of course, didn't show anything like that at all. This did not happen in shipping. It happened before shipping, because that chip is not in the gig bag, and it's nowhere in the shipping box that it came in. I looked high and low to see if I could find it, and hopefully it was kind of one piece. I thought maybe I can just glue it, but it's nowhere to be found. So it happened before they packed it. And so I probably won't be dealing with Pro Audio Star anymore. Although I got a really good discount, and I thought about sending it back. And the problem is, it's, you know, I do these show and tells, and I thought maybe I'd just show it as it is. The problem is it's set up so well, and it plays so nice, and everything about it is perfect. As I played it, and time ran out to send it back, bit by bit, right after time expired, I really was struggling with it and just not able to find, you know, some good sounds, but not any great sounds. It's really a beautiful thing. The neat thing about showing this is it really shows you how thin the veneer is on these guitars, and probably all other, I don't want to pick on PRS any more than anybody else, but I'm going to have to put something over that, stain it, and then glue it or shellac it or do something, and so it doesn't, because it'll keep coming apart if I don't. It's really down to the bare wood, but it shows how thin that veneer is, and then looks like there's almost like a primer between the veneer and the wood, and this is down to the wood. So it's an interesting guitar, and I'm going to have to read how it works, because the pickup selection switch, as you can see, it's got a single coil, a humbucker in the bridge, a single coil in the middle, and a humbucker up in the neck. And then it's got a splitting thing that kind of doesn't really split, it does something else. So, but this thing plays so well, I thought, I'm not a tapper, but I could become one with this guitar. It comes with 9-gauge strings, and that might be part of it. But everything, it was set up just perfectly. So let's go over the usual. It's a double cut. It's made out of, the body material is swamp ash. The body finish is satin. I find that odd that it says it's satin. It doesn't seem like a satin to me. It's a gloss. I mean, it's really quite shiny and glossy. So the neck material is maple with a maple fingerboard. The inlays are birds. I like the looks of them, but I just worry, I don't know what you do if one of those comes loose and falls out. I don't know if you can buy birds. I don't know what you do. It's a bolt-on neck, not a set neck. So it's kind of like I think they call it a CE. The whammy bar is absolutely, it's one of those push-in, it's really in there too. Oop, there it comes. Anyway, it really sits in there nice and firm, so it doesn't, I have that camera way too high. It doesn't wiggle around at all. It just, wherever you put it, it stays. So intonation is perfect on it. The nut slots look like they're perfect. Everything's perfect. The fretwork is really, really good on it. And I forget what they go for new, but I got it for just over 700 with the PRS gig bag, which is a really heavy-duty gig bag. I can't tell you about the weight. They all seem so heavy to me as I've grown a few years older here, but it seems pretty heavy to me. It's 1.68 at the 1.6875 at the nut. The nut material is not artificial nut material. It's not bone nut. It's PRS proprietary. Whatever that means. Some kind of plastic, I would guess, or combination of something. It's the PRS patented tremolo molded. I'm not sure what that means. 6 screws in the bridge there for the trim. It's got the neck pickup is a PRS 8515S humbucker. The single coil is a PRS designed AS01, and back here is an 80. The bridge humbucker is an 8515, also a humbucker. 1 volume, 1 tone with a push coil tap. 3-way toggle switch, and that's all I can tell you. But that's not all I can tell you. I can tell you a little more. With the knob pushed in, it is I can't read it without glass eyes, and I didn't bring my glass eyes. Yeah, in the number 1 position, it's just this humbucker with the button pushed in, and it is in the middle position. You would think it might be the center pickup. It's actually both humbuckers, if I'm reading that correctly. And in the number 3 position, it's just the bridge humbucker. So kind of to be expected. It's all humbuckers with the button down. With the button, let's play that for you. Position 1 is this humbucker. It's the bridge. Position number 2, both humbuckers. And in the up position, number 3 is just the neck humbucker. Now we pull that coil out, and we get in the number 1 position, we get humbucker and a single coil. You can hear that difference. Really cuts, feels like it cuts the energy out of it. And the single coil, it brings in a little bit of single coilishness. And then in the middle position, it is the single coil from the bridge. Just let me think about this now. It doesn't actually say. Well, it says it's the treble humbucker, middle single coil, and a single coil, I think, in the neck also. I'm not sure. And then in the, so you can get a couple of single coil. In the up position, it is the bridge single coil, and it doesn't say which one. I'm guessing it's the inner one, maybe. The way it shows the, oh yeah, it's there very faintly. I printed it out from the Paul Reed Smith website. So that's, it says base coil tap, so that's the single coil here and the single coil in the middle. So you can get combinations of humbuckers and single coils. There's no position to get just the center single coil by itself anywhere on there. So it's an interesting, I would never remember any of this. I'd have to carry this sheet with me all the time. Say, wait a minute, what's the number 2 position with the knob out? There are some good sounds to be had. Versus with the coil. I can find some good sounds in there. I'd probably find 1 or 2 or 3 positions that I like and memorize those 3 positions. But I've struggled going through like the E band, which usually has some fairly bad sounds sometimes, but they sound okay in the mix. As I always joke, you can get away with murder in the mix. And but when you play the E band by itself with that same setting, it just sometimes will sound terrible. This sounded exceptionally terrible. So it's just the way it is. And so I went through the Fender Champ. I actually went through a little Hughes and Kettner and struggled with that also. And so I'm back to the Champ 20, and I can get some good sounds out of it. And so it's a cool guitar, but it's not quite to my liking. But a fun one nonetheless. I may pass. This may be one. Since I've sold a few, this may be one I down the road sell or something. And I got enough of it. I got a good discount on it. So, nickel frets. Not sure if that's important. 22 frets. 25-inch scale length as usual for most Paul Reed Smiths. Just lots of combinations of various coils and pickups when you pull that button up. Great fretwork. I mean, this is actually, other than the Silver Sky, which I thought was pretty good, it was better than some made in Mexico Fender Strats and not as good as others. So it was kind of an in-betweener, but it was in that same sort of price range. So I was okay with that. This is a cut above, neck-wise, playability-wise. It's just the pickup situation. I'm not so sure I'm all that fun. So these are Indonesian. Most of the other ones I had were all made in Korea, which I was pretty sure were a cut above. And I still got a couple of those that I think are still a cut above, or at least equal. But this is really nicely done, minus the chip that came with it. So if you have any suggestions what I should do to fix that, I'm just thinking some sort of an orangish brownish stain that kind of matches the color, and then probably take some sort of acrylic something and goop it over the top, mostly just to keep it from getting worse. These veneers are really something. I mean, they really look, man, you can see down into the wood, but then once you chip it and you realize it's just this really, really thin veneer and the wood underneath. Anyway, that's that. I'm going to go back to the E band. Good for some fusion stuff. Until next time, you have a good rest of your week, rest of your month. Let's have a good summer.